questions of asking that will happen.
We say from Louisiana, and he's
John Hawley, Virginia Beach, Virginia, of the area of Virginia.
and this is
John, and Jargon. I think how many times have we done that and I got it right for once?
I think we've done it at least 5 or 6. So
okay, sorry.
You know what they say?
Nope.
No, I don't know.
All right. Hey, this leads in pretty well to a question.
Okay.
What do you do when you are facilitating a group of people and your joke falls absolutely flat? I mean, completely. You're not picking it up. They're giving you bad looks. It's just not working.
That actually happens more frequently than probably it should. And maybe my approach is different than other people's, but I think I take a page from the great philosopher Will Ferrell with this one. And I lean hard into the joke. So if the joke doesn't land and everyone's quiet, then I openly identify that joke was terrible. And in that identification of how terrible that joke was, people begin to laugh.
Yes.
Usually that's how I manage it. It's like a classic dad joke. Then you point out that it's a dad joke. And then everybody's like, this guy's a real clown, real jokester. Yes. But it gets really awkward. So I lean into the awkwardness, which is literally something that Will Ferrell does and has done. I watched the episode of Conan O'Brien Trying to Make Friends or whatever it's called. And Will Ferrell explained his technique of leaning in because he loved the awkwardness. And I appreciate it.
Link to that will be in the description in the bubble that will happen right over here.
Nailed it first try.
All right, I'm gonna answer that question.
What do you do? You're hilarious.
Ditto. I do exactly the same thing. I mean, you essentially answered as me for you for me.
Yeah.
So
you don't even need to be here.
Nope, I don't. I'll send you the questions. So there is a time where I actually, so I won't embrace the joke, but I'll make it so incredibly awkward that it's an identifier. Now I'm about to get real serious here.
Okay.
There are certain things that I do in a workshop to find out very quickly who the people are in the room. Like who's the jokester, who's the naysayer, who's the one that's going to interrupt me, like, et cetera, et cetera. And for doing something like that, making it just disgustingly awkward, you know who your allies are in the room as a facilitator. So you can reach out and be like, hey, I need a volunteer. And you're like, I'm going to pick that guy who was either laughing at me, so I'm getting him back, or I'm picking that guy because I'm pretty sure he's laughing because he's in it to win it along with me. But other than that, ditto. Okay, I like it. All right, question number 2. Thank you. That was good. How do you deal with someone that is talking over someone else? Okay, we've talked about some other stuff and we beat around the bush, but I mean very specifically this person talking over somebody, and maybe it's not you, but it's super annoying.
I make a point to say we are going to try and stay within this time frame. So if someone starts, I notice early on or later, whenever, that they're jumping in on top of other people or talking way too long, I establish for the group rules about talking. So you have 30 seconds to explain your answer, and then we're going to wait and hear everyone else's responses. So I time box them, but I time box everyone and kind of set it as a level playing field. And when someone does something wrong, I'll be like, oh, looks like you're in timeout. You're going to have to go last this time, or something goofy like that, that makes them know you can't do that, but also doesn't make them feel terrible about it. Because if you push too hard, they'll close up completely. So that's kind of my approach, is time box them and make it a little playful.
Yeah, for sure. So we could go way down the rabbit hole on that one of, how, like, different scenarios for different types of people with different groups and how to shut people down. And maybe we do this on another episode, but there is a time and a place for you to weigh the pros and cons of, should I shut this person down and eliminate their voice essentially for the greater good of the group? Or is it in everybody's best interest to keep this person? So the obvious answer is the latter, until it encroaches on just totally ruining the day for everybody else. Then it's like, I'm sorry, you don't get a voice anymore. I've tried so much, et cetera. So that was an extreme.
Yeah, and you tell them, write it down, get it on paper, and then we can share after. If they're talking too much, I love that. Write it down, and we're going to come back to it in a moment. But right now, it's not your moment to share, and then that helps too.
Ooh, I like that. Were you just giving me 30 seconds to talk just then? Okay, so my answer. Do I have to identify that this is my answer when I'm talking?
No.
Or is it pretty clear and evident that this is my answer because I'm talking?
No,
okay.
It's your answer. Go for it.
All right. I use social cues in a massive way. So, for instance, if somebody's talking, well, there's the obvious, right? Someone's talking over here, and you look over here and you say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't hear any of you guys because you got a bunch of numbskulls back there. And so I'm not like pointing them out. Everyone's looking at the opposite direction. It's fun-loving, etc. Other times, if somebody's talking, I interrupt the person that's talking and saying, hey, I'm interrupting you out loud and in front of everybody because you're already being interrupted right now by a lot of people that are having side conversations. And it's not your fault. And I know I made this terribly awkward, so hopefully you can pick up where you left off. And, I'll do something like that. But my social cues will be like, I will walk over to the people in the general area. Like, we're talking, I guess it has to be 6 feet now with a face mask. But you get close to them, and then you get a little closer, and then you get a little closer.
Oh.
And then I end up standing between the person that's talking and the other person, where it's like, what are you doing right now?
Me and John, is that right?
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And this is my favorite tip. Are you ready? Can you put one of those sparkle things? Like, this is my favorite tip.
Woo! Yeah. John's tip of the day.
Tip of the day. I end up in discovery calls. I end up finding out, obviously the culture of the group, et cetera, and the most senior person in the room that's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And I pretty much make the most senior person that's going to be there, the CEO or, somebody in the C-suite, or, if it's an admiral or a general, if it's this military stuff, I will give them a scenario and I will tell them to break the rules and that I'm going to make an example of them. And they're like, what do you mean? We don't need to do that. And then I kind of go into it. We could probably have a whole episode on just that, of what it does and why and how and all that stuff. But to answer the question, and you're right, I do talk more than you. Sorry.
No, your storylines are different. It's not about quantity.
Yeah, well, sometimes it is. Divergent thinking.
Open those thoughts up.
So I'll say, hey, in the very beginning, first 20 minutes, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to get you to come up to the front of the room and do X. And I want your answer to be a good one, but I want you to break my rule number, blah, 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 whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to correct you. I'm going to make fun of you. And what I want you to do is acknowledge it and just keep going. But now the correct way. So the point of doing all of this is, if I can interrupt this person, this guy or gal, and they're the ones that are calling the meeting for everybody, or they're in charge of everybody, or, whatever, they're the manager for everyone, then everybody there knows that I can also interrupt them. And it sets the level playing field, kind of like you were saying, where it's like, I'm doing this for everyone. Yeah. Nobody gets a pass here. I'm going to interrupt people because I have to. I have to be the mediator throughout the day. So long-winded answer. Sorry.
No. I get it. All right. That was question number three.
Super annoying. We don't know. The earth. It is our planet. We love the earth. It is our home.